Yes, yes, yes. You were made to be courageous. Welcome all you Courageous Cause champions. I'm Lainey Frydrych, and this is the Couch to 5A podcast, episode 7. Today I want to talk about riding the ups and downs. What does that mean? Riding the ups and downs of life. I'm going to pull up. I'm taking a course, an online course on marketing, and it's called the One Funnel Away Challenge. And I just want to give you a little bit of starting point. When I started doing internet marketing, it was about 2 years ago, and I had been piloting my vegan food delivery business for about a year at that point, and I realized that I needed to step back and find a way through internet marketing to increase the sales. And so I happened to see, as fate would have it, a Facebook ad from a woman called Grace Lever, this Australian woman who was offering an 8-week, I think it was 8 weeks, internet marketing course. So I signed up because the timing was perfect, and I dove right in. One of the things that she taught was sales funnels, and one of the service providers for the software needed for creating a sales funnel is a company called ClickFunnels. And I went ahead and signed up for the bare bone basic $19 account. And I won't bore you with the stories of all the other things that I tried in between in the internet marketing. Just know that going into this process, this internet marketing course, I really felt like I was trying to help fix the post-election mess with the course that I had created, Grow Your Advocacy. So I was taking this internet marketing course and switched gears from the vegan food business over to what I created, the Grow Your Advocacy course. And my intention with that was to make a 6-figure income that I had had when I was in my banking career. That had been the goal of the vegan business too. So it was still my target. What happened though is I really hit a wall with Grace's course. There were a lot of basic sort of business setups that were helpful in her process, but when I followed the marketing things, I couldn't get any traction in my business model. Luckily for me, there was a Facebook ad, because now, after having this ClickFunnels account, I was on their marketing list, and there was a Facebook ad for Russell Brunson's book, .com Secrets, which is an excellent book. And what I found out after reading that book is that Grace had learned a lot of what she knew from him, but she had left out some what I felt were critical pieces in the marketing puzzle. So I was very, very excited to read the book, and I had all kinds of charts and graphs and things mapped out following Russell's teachings in that book. So the first thing I did, he talks about hacking what other businesses are doing, and I didn't really have the clear understanding of what he was trying to teach there. And the first thing I did is I modeled my website after Yoga Tree San Francisco. It was a very successful yoga business out in California. And I felt like my target customer, the people who I wanted to teach to grow their advocacy, were people that were interested in self-care and improving the world. And so I felt like there were a lot of parallels between the yoga audience and the audience that I wanted to reach. So let me show you how I modeled that. So this is the website that I ended up with contracting out. You can see, logo up here, a couple of categories, big picture, description, and then 3 pictures with certain offerings. And if you look at Yoga Tree, the logo, the categories above, big picture, description, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so I definitely modeled it after Yoga Tree because I felt like that was what I was supposed to be doing. I didn't realize that funnels and websites, I didn't realize the differences, the distinct differences between each two. And I became a funnel queen. I ended up upgrading to the $97 a month package at ClickFunnels and ended up creating a dozen funnels. Let's see all my funnels here. Yeah, I have 15 now, but over the course of the last 2 years, I've created like 13 of those, 12 or 13 of those. The last ones just came on board during this current class. The trouble was, and what I'm learning now is that, you know, websites don't drive traffic. And I did try some ad campaigns as well. I blogged, I loved blogging, but again, that didn't bring in, the way that I was doing it, it wasn't in a marketing way. It was fun to write, but it wasn't generating any sales. And I eventually wanted to have a podcast course, so I signed up on for a Udemy course online for how to start a podcast, and I started watching those lessons when I could fit it in. The trouble here, I mean, I fell into a lot of downs in this process where I felt like I do what I thought I was being taught, and then it wasn't working. Thought I was doing what was being taught, and it wasn't working. I engaged a ClickFunnels consultant. I engaged a Facebook ad consultant. I engaged an SEO consultant, you know, at different points along the way. This is just pretty much since in the last year. And again, all of those things really fell short of achieving the sales. But what I did get out of it is I have had a lot of ClickFunnels funnel practice and even setting up a membership area. And I do have a lot of the quote-unquote business, which is the fulfillment of your sales stuff that's in place, my website, which I still think there's a reason for having some type of a static presence on the internet. That's just me. I have Acuity is a company, their scheduling calendar, they're phenomenal. I've contracted numerous people through Fiverr, so, you know, it's good practice. I've got my Stripe account set up. I've done multiple domains, set up multiple business emails. I've done integration, mail campaign integrations with MailChimp. I have set up multiple LLCs. I know how to go out and get my privacy policy. I've done Facebook ads, I've done Facebook pages, I've done hashtags, and right now I'm using Free Conference Call, which I love to do screen shares and, you know, audio and things. And within me, you know, what happened to me as a person is that I still, as I continued to pilot the courses and change the formats of them and talk to different people about them, I still felt that there was a tremendous value in the courses I had created and the information that I wanted to get out to people. So I still felt very dedicated to finding out a way to make this work. And, you know, as this roller coaster ride of life is, you know, you hit these walls. So even though I was pumped up and I was doing lots of action steps, I still wasn't getting the sales that I wanted. So here we are 2 years later into that internet marketing process, and I've been using my IRA funds until I can get the business up and running. And, sorry. And I was ready to give it all up. About, let's see, it's early November right now. I would say early October. I had a weekend where I just said, you know what, I don't think I can figure this out. I think this is just too whatever for me. I was a bank vice president and accomplished a great many things in my 27-year banking career, but I was just shaking my head going, I don't know what to do next. I really don't. And then literally the next day, the next Monday, I had a Facebook ad for Russell Brunson's 30-day challenge, and the One Funnel Away challenge offer. And I just felt like that was a sign from above that this is what I was supposed to keep doing. And this was, I was ready for the student was ready, the teacher appeared, and so I jumped right in. The 30-Day is a book about 30 people that got into Russell's 2 Comma Club, and their stories of what they would do if all of their $1 million a year sales funnels suddenly collapsed and they had to rebuild their companies back into, $1 million a year type of businesses from scratch. And I started reading the different stories. I tried one of them by a man named Dan Henry. I tried a few things with respect to that. I can show you a little picture of that on my Facebook page. He said to find out what you're trying to achieve with your target market, and I wanted them to advance their cause, so I set up this very boring looking Facebook page and announced that there would be a free webinar coming soon, and like this page. Anyway, so I was following what I could of his format, and then I just brick wall. So I moved on to another one of the 30-Day stories, and I tried Dana Derrickson's, which is your Dream 100. And I tried reaching out to different nonprofits that I know, and I did their opportunity guides with my the 5 levels of the advocacy chart that I'd come up with, and I reached out to some of them, and a few of them responded back that they wanted to touch base with me, and it seemed like a useful tool, and that we'd get together in a while. But again, nothing. I felt like I hit a wall again. So I kept. And in the meantime, I had signed up for the One Funnel Away challenge, and I didn't see any emails about what to do next. And this was, we're at the beginning of October, and I knew it was supposed to start October 15th. So I thought, what's going on? So the Wednesday before October 15th, I started looking through the 30-Day website link, and there way down at the bottom, after you get through all the 30 stories, which I had not gotten through all of them, I had stopped when I hit on Dan's and Dana's and followed those paths, there was the link for the One Funnel Away challenge. So I finally got into the One Funnel Away pre-work 3 days late, and scrambled to catch up in those couple of that Thursday, Friday, and over that weekend, and was on track and started the One Funnel Away challenge on October 15th. Now, one of the first things we did was hacking other companies' websites and funnels their funnels to take a look at how they were marketing. And that process, I know it's hugely beneficial. I know it is. For me, that stage had a lot of painfulness to it because I didn't feel like anything that I was looking at was going to be translatable to what I was trying to market and to the audience I was trying to market to. So it's very frustrating for me because I just felt like, oh my gosh, here we go again. This is another situation where I'm not going to find any funnel that I can model after and accomplish what I want to accomplish. However, I did in that first week or so get a much better understanding of the sales process. I got some professional headshots done that I can use in my marketing material. So there is a longer list. I have lots of notes from the first week and a half or so of the One Funnel Away training. And the pre-work really helps all of us get into, what are our personal fears about this process, this very brave, embarking on an adventure without a lot of maps to guide us. And then Stephen, one of the instructors, really explains Russell's concepts in a way that I could apply and understand much better. For me personally, Russell is like foundational, like he's got all the foundational stuff. Stephen he's raw and he's real, and I could really apply what he was saying. It really sunk in, it made more sense. I just felt like he added a lot of depth and a lot of breadth to the foundational teachings that Russell has. So again, I hit some downs. We had some exercises where we looked at a website called SimilarWeb, and again, I didn't see anything. I wasn't finding anything that looked useful for me to model after. Same with going to ClickBank and looking at funnels that people had to model after. Nothing really jumped out. And then I want to say it was week 2, about middle of the week, we saw a video from one of Russell's 2 Comma Club winners, and actually I believe they're a 10X winner as well, which means 10 million in a year from their funnels. The product is called Lady Boss, which is weight loss and fitness for women. And that was it. I was in love with the marketing that she did. It felt so right for my audience, because her audience are people who are they're in this place of unhappiness and pain, but they want to do some self-care in order to get themselves out of it. And my target audience is women who, hear the latest news and they're upset and they're frustrated by it. They don't know what to do, and I walk them through the process. So I loved everything she had. So I came up with this really powerful game plan to follow what she did, and that included, she has a 7-day kickstart in her program, so I wanted to do a 14-day kickstart, and she has a sort of an ongoing educational thing. She doesn't have like a set number of weeks in her plan, but I'll explain in a minute why I came up with, for mine, an 8-week training plan. So I translated my existing course material into an 8-week plan, because before it was about a 6-week plan. And she created a members only area, and I've already done that, so that would be part of mine as well. And then I thought about adding a inner circle monthly coaching call, or maybe it's going to be every 2 weeks, something like that. I haven't fleshed that out yet, but something for ongoing support for people. I know she offers coaching to people as well. The conflict, though, that I ran into and have been running into this whole week, now we're in week 3. The week 3 was all of last week. It's now Sunday, so I kept getting stalled, because Lady Boss's funnel, here I'll show you, is so elaborate. And let's see, couch. Here is one of her funnels. She gets into, testimonials. She shows her brand, the products that are included, testimonials, and then she starts to tell her story and to loop people in with backstory and why this is important, and talked about their pain and things like that. And I went ahead and I modeled this, and there's my beginning, and there's my call to action button, there's my testimonials, there's my brand, there's my package, the benefits of things that are included, there's more testimonials, here's the backstory. So literally it took me days to get this written, just following screenshot by screenshot of her funnel page and what I wanted to do with it in mine. And I felt so fired up. I was so fired up. I mean, I was on fire. My friends could not believe how pumped I was about what I was doing here. I created this name of this training thing. I'm calling it Couch to 5A. which is a play on Couch to 5K because people are used to like an 8-week training plan with a Couch to 5K. And one of the things that Stephen taught in his training is this idea of a red ocean where I guess everybody is swirling around. I'm not sure what the backstory is. Does that mean that there are sharks there? Is that why it's red? I don't know. But he talks about the red ocean being where everybody else is already marketing, and then the blue ocean is where you take everybody away from that into something very, very unique but familiar to them. And that's where I came up with the Couch to 5A, and I want to show you my little podcast. So there's me, the Couch to 5A podcast, which I also hacked the cover from Mind Body Green, which is a favorite podcast, and it was one of the highly rated ones, and I love Mind Body Green stuff anyway, big fan of theirs. So I just wanted to show you something. Here's me. Let's see, home, about. My website's a little slow. Okay, here's our founder. Blah, 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 boring, boring, boring. And then now, after going through this training, after going through this training, I rebranded myself. There I am. View podcast. So now I am a rock star. I am Lainey Frydrych, the global expert on the 5 levels of advocacy, because, hey, I created it, so I must be the global expert because nobody else has this. And I'm also the founder of GrowYourAdvocacy.com, and I specialize in teaching the Couch to 5A how to become a courageous cause champion using the 5 levels of advocacy. So even my persona just exploded during this, as we've been going through training. Here, I wrote it on here, I became a rock star, woohoo! And coming up with this, modeling the lady boss, like what do you people want to be? She wanted her customers to be lady boss, right? That's really powerful. And I was like, what do I want my followers to be? What do I want my clients to be? I want them to be courageous. I want them to be a champion for whatever cause is important to them. So that's where I came up with the Courageous Cause Champion. And when I tell people today, I say, I teach people how to become courageous cause champions. I like raise my hands up and my voice gets louder because it's such a powerful concept. And with this process of this training and rebranding, I'm actually acting more courageous myself. So I'm finding more and more of my own inner courage. Let's see, I showed you the podcast. Oh, and what I've been doing with my podcast is I do what I'm doing here, where I take a recording of the screen and the audio, and then I have it transcripted. So this audio from today, you're hearing it on, some of you are hearing it on the podcast, and others of you are watching the video, because then I take this video of it and I upload that onto YouTube, and I put that in my website as a blog post with the video and the transcript, which has been absolutely phenomenal. I know it sounds like a lot. It does take a bit more time, but I'm getting a lot of good slides and information to use going forward in my marketing material. The transcripts have been really helpful in seeing where I have public speaking glitches. The people I was in Toastmasters with for 2 years would be telling me, hey, stop with all the ums and the uhs and the double words and stops and starts. It's fun, though, to go through the transcript. And again, having the transcript, then I have written out material that I can cut and paste if I need any of those pieces of it for marketing material. So I love putting all three, the video, the audio, and the written transcript out there for all of my quote-unquote podcast events or episodes. I loved Russell and Stephen talking about the heroes to journeys, and that's some of it I'm incorporating here as I'm going through, where there's an external achievement and an internal transformation, where when you start a plan, there's the external desires that you have and then the internal desires. That was just amazing. And then Stephen's explanation of products, or the explanation of having to sell to people the product, and you have to tell them about the product, because if they don't understand the product, they're not going to listen to you from that point on. And then you have to answer their internal questions about are they going to really benefit from this, address any insecurities they might have, and then talk about any external concerns that they have about, like, how am I going to access it, how much is it, et cetera, et cetera. And coming up with his spreadsheet about that, that was so cool, so helpful. Thanks, Stephen. My origin story is, again, another Stephen spreadsheet that's really helpful. Those of you that are watching this video, you can see across the top here these different column headings. You start with the backstory, you do your internal desires, your external desires, you hit the wall, you have the epiphany, this is the light bulb moment, you came up with a plan, so certain things sidetracked you along the way, and then ta-da, you had achievement, and you transformed yourself as a person too. And what I want to show you today is, in part of this story, is that you go through all that, and then I hit another wall, and then I hit another aha, and then I come up with another plan, and some things don't work, some things do. I grow in the process. Again, then I hit another wall, then there's another aha, then I come up with a plan, then something goes awry, other things work, and I'm transformed in lots of different ways as I grow and learn. So thanks, Stephen, for the Epiphany Bridge spreadsheet that I'm using right here. And then I love Lady Boss's long form sales pages because it was so helpful. I was so pumped up as I'm going through them, because to model after those, I was able to learn this cadence of telling her epiphany stories and how to weave that into the marketing message. And then I hit another wall again, because I was bumping up against this conflict. Actually, it's up here. Here's the conflict of using the Lady Boss as a model versus using the One Funnel Away templates. And I can appreciate the fact that this One Funnel Away challenge is for people with all different levels of experience with the ClickFunnels funnels and how to maneuver and edit things in their software. And I get that, because some people in this challenge have zero ClickFunnels experience, and I have 2 years of it already in some, I would say pretty basic. I mean, I've done 12 funnels with, multiple pages and a membership area, which is, I'm not a newbie. I would say I'm probably an intermediate. And so I was fired up when I was working on my sales pages in this long form modeling after Lady Boss, but to stay consistent and to stick with the class exercises every day. This past week, I was supposed to take and kind of round peg into square hole, force my offer and my products and everything and my message into the templates in ClickFunnels that they want us to use. And it's been so painful. It's been so painful. I got behind. I was just struggling with it. And so yesterday I tried to sort it out in my head and say, like, what's going on here? Why is this so hard for me? Why is this not working? Because I wanted to give that feedback to ClickFunnels as well, because this is the first time they've done this One Funnel Away challenge, I believe. And I know they want to continue doing this course going forward. So another thing, they sell this funnel scripts where you can, plug in some key concepts and it spits out, headlines and text and everything. And I was just like, I'm struggling. I'm like, wow, I was on fire when I was just modeling my scripts after Lady Boss's stuff. And then, it's like so painful to try and recreate or to create something seemingly from scratch, even with their tools. I was hitting snags with some of my Fiverr contractors on some of the visual content that I wanted to put on my pages, and I also had a call with my my budgeting coach, I guess you would say, because since things have been taking so long to get sales up and running, my finances have shifted a bit, and I wasn't as disciplined about following a budget because I thought that things would have progressed in the sales area by now. So a couple months ago, I started working with a budgeting coach, and when it's a couple, and when they were talking to me, the wife said, just want to confirm, what kind of support you have for, this business undertaking, this startup that you're doing. And I said, well, there's nobody. My family doesn't get it. My friends don't really get it. My boyfriend doesn't get it. There's nobody gets it. And they definitely look at me and as like, well, it's not working. So why do you keep doing this? Why do you keep throwing good money after bad here, so to speak? And I'm so certain that this is what I want to do because of these times when I get so fired up and I see so many positive changes in people when they use this material, when they use these 5 levels, when I teach it to them, when I teach it to organizations. So I know that this is powerful. It's really just getting the message out. So basically this past week was a really, really crappy week for me because I kept bumping up against trying to conform to these sales pages in the course. Let me show you. Like this one, okay, this is my, they want us to do a lead magnet or, some free offer. So the free offer that I came up with was, I do these 8 powerful self-care secrets. Now, to me, it was just so deflating because I felt so pumped up back here when I had all this exciting stuff, Couch to 5A, Courageous, Cause Champion. That's what I wanted to lead with. And that's what Lady Boss leads with. She leads in her, at least from what I can tell from her funnel, that's where she leads. And again, I was really struggling with, how do I fit in? Why am I not fitting in? Am I supposed to fit in? And here's the conclusion I came to, or the comprehension that I came to this morning at 2 a.m., which is when I created the spreadsheet because I couldn't sleep because it was just exploding in my head, is that these sales funnels are like music. And the Lady Boss dance cadence in her sales funnel is different versus it's like a dance, hip hop, get up, get working out, get motivated. And the one funnel away template, I don't know what I would use jazz as an example, as something that's quite a bit different. It's some other cadence, it's some other type of music where you do these free offer and you get their email and then you take them to the next page. And me trying to conform to the one funnel away funnels when I already had something that seemed to be resonating so loudly with me I felt like I was trying to write my own music and lyrics while I'm still learning the basics of the lyrics. Because to me, using the Lady Boss cadence is it's like she's got the music for me. She's got this layout that I can follow, and I can put my own lyrics in there because it's my story and my products, and it is different. It's different. It's a similar marketing approach, but, very different product, very different reasons for having the product out there. And when I tried to do this one funnel away template, I felt like everything kind of collapsed, and I was being asked to not only come up with the lyrics, but also the music, and it was just too much for me. I just felt like it wasn't really working. And as I got behind and listened to day 4, which was Thursday's lesson, but I just listened to that yesterday. Stephen seemed to be talking right to me about these dips that people have. You have the high points and the dips, and the high points and the dips, and that's why I'm talking today about the ups and the downs and the ups and the downs. And it was interesting to map this all out on the spreadsheet early this morning and really see, it's going to be, this page is going to go on and on and on and on, because there's always going to be what's working, what's not working, and how have I grown in the process. And then I'm going to hit a wall, and then I'm going to try to figure out or get help to figure out, what do I do next? How do I get out of this hole? And that's going to be this light bulb, this epiphany, this aha. And then I'm going to come up with a revised plan. So for me, the revised plan is just, watch the rest of the week 3 trainings today, cram those all in, because I have 2 more days worth to do. And then I think I'm just going to keep modeling after the Lady Boss funnel, because it felt so good. Her long page funnel is very long, and I had already started modeling that one, and it's basically the Russell Brunson's perfect webinar script, where you tell people your backstory, and you identify certain pain points, and then you tell them about 3 secrets that can help transition them from where they are, and they've got these false beliefs, and they really can get where they want to go, or where you want to take them. And I love it. I was on fire as I'm going through there, and I'm, again, her music, the flow, the ebb and the flow of that funnel page, the longer one, is beautiful. And so that's my music, and I'm adding my own lyrics, and that's where I'm comfortable. Going back to these basic funnels that they're using the challenge, the basic funnel, and they're using the challenge is just, I can't even tell you how painful it is to me. It's like somebody just takes an ice cold bucket of water and just douses my flames. So I'm just not going to do it anymore, and I'm going to continue to do monthly coaching calls with my financial coach, because she's uber supportive and gives me great insights and pats me on the back and helps me with a lot of aspects of this, because I think we all need somebody on our team, and sometimes you have to pay someone to be someone on the team. So that's what I wanted to share today. I know this was my longest podcast so far, and it had a lot of information. And those of you who are listening to just the audio, I do encourage you to go back and watch the video. It's got some really good spreadsheets if this process is of interest to you. Let me see if there was anything I wanted to show you. Oh, yeah. So here was my Facebook page, my boring Facebook page, group page, when I was trying to follow incorrectly one of the 30-day plans. And then here's my Courageous Cause champion. Look at that lioness. I mean, that's me. Like, that's who I've become during this One Funnel Away challenge. I've become this courageous lioness, and that has become part of my branding and what I want to teach other people to become, because it's been so powerful for me, and I believe that it resonates with people. And that's what I wanted to share today. So just understand, know that there are going to be ups and downs, more ups and downs, and just write them out, because and document them. That's what they teach us in the class. They're like, document it, because why is this not showing up? Sorry, hold on. Let me get my screen. Anyway, it's not showing up, but the ups and the downs is what I wanted to show you there. So I hope that you will continue to ride out the ups and downs with courage, because the causes that you want to see in the world, including your own personal self-care, are going to be victorious. You're going to be the champion of those. Namaste.